Multiversus is finally back, and with the new release of the game, there's over 25 different playable characters in it. All of these characters are from loved franchises that are known all around the world. So in today's video, I want to take a look at every single multiverse character that you can get as a Funko Pop. And I figured the best way to start this video off would be by talking about the ones that don't have Funko Pops. And there's only two characters in Multiversus that don't have Funko Pops. The first of which being the obvious Rain Dog. This one's obvious because Rain Dog is the character that they created just specifically for Multiversus. So this isn't from a very popular franchise or anything like that. It's from the game. So if they ever do decide to make a Funko Pop of Rain Dog, it's going to be in the Pop Games line, and it's going to be a part of the Multiversus franchise. The other character in Multiversus that doesn't have a Funko Pop is a part of a line that we already do have as Funko Pops. That being Banana Guard from Adventure Time. Now we do have Adventure Time Funko Pops already, but Banana Guard is a very random character from the show that they decided to put into Multiversus. I feel like it's very similar to Piranha Plant in Super Smash Bros. Like, did anyone really expect to get Piranha Plant in Smash Bros? No. The same way Banana Guard is a very random character to pick from in Adventure Time to add into Multiversus. They could have added in so many other characters like Ice King, Marceline, Lemon Grab, and I think some of those are still coming. It's just very weird they decided to add Banana Guard in before any of those. But yeah, due to the obscurity of this character, there is no Funko Pop for Banana Guard. I don't think Funko will ever make a Banana Guard Funko Pop unless they decide to go back and make more Adventure Time Funko Pops, which they haven't in years. But in a way, it would be pretty cool to see a Banana Guard Funko Pop, I can't lie. And those are the only two characters from Multiversus that don't have Funko Pops made. All the other 24 playable fighters in the game do have Funko Pops. So let's go take a look at all of those, starting with the ones that I own in my collection. Alright, so the first pops I have in my collection that are in Multiversus would have to be some of these DC ones right here. For example, Batman is in Multiversus, but this Batman isn't exactly the one that you guys see in the game. This is the Dark Knight Returns Batman. This is not quite the one that they have in the game, but they do have a skin for Batman, which is the animated series Batman, which I actually do have as a Funko Pop in my collection. He's a little bit dinked up. He's got some scratches on his face. I've had this pop for over 10 years or 8 years, something like that, something crazy. But this pop right here does have a version in the game. There's the animated series Batman skin that you can get for Batman in the game, and I think that's totally sick. There's also a Samurai Batman that they have as a skin for Batman in the game that I guess technically does have a Funko Pop. Just last year or like 2 years ago, Funko did a whole line of Imperial DC Funko Pops. I've actually got one from that line right here. This is the Green Lantern Imperial Pop that they released, and they did release an Imperial Batman that looks awfully close to the Samurai Batman that we do have in the game. Another character in Multiversus that you guys are seeing on the screen right here is Joker. Now this Joker that I have is also from the animated series. This isn't quite the one that they have in the game, but it is still the Joker, and the Joker is in Multiversus as a character. There's also a skin for the Joker, which is the Batman That Laughs skin, and that does have a Funko Pop. Unfortunately, I don't have that pop in my collection. That is such a sick pop that I would love to get one day possibly. Now in Multiversus, there's also Superman, and this is the most basic version of Superman they made into a Funko Pop. This was one of the first Funko Pops they made many years ago. I don't have any newer Supermans in my collection, so this is the only one that I have, so this is the only one that I can really compare it to. But yeah, Superman is in Multiversus. He does have a lot of skins as well. I don't believe any of them do have Funko Pops, and I really did think there was a Black Lantern Superman, but I was wrong. There's a Black Lantern Wonder Woman that does have a skin in Multiversus that I'll talk about later on in the video, but there's no Black Lantern Superman Funko Pop, unfortunately, as of yet. That's definitely one they could make in the future. And another two characters that I would have in my collection from Multiversus would be Rick and Morty, and I'm just showing you this entire shelf right here because these are all the Rick and Morty Pops they've made. I have every single one, so I guess I'm just counting these as just like general Pops, like Rick right here, and then there's Morty. The basic Rick and Morty are at the end there, and those would be the closest one to the characters that they have in Multiversus. Now, unfortunately, both of the skins that Multiversus made for Rick doesn't have Funko Pops just yet. It would be cool to see both of these as Funko Pops, but unfortunately, these aren't Pops just as of yet. But for Morty, Morty does have an Evil Morty skin, which I do have as a Funko Pop right over here. This is a pretty cool one. I've also got the original Morty that Funko first made many years ago over there. And also from Rick and Morty that is featured in the game, but not as a fighter, would be Mr. Meeseeks over here. Mr. Meeseeks is in Multiversus. He's just not quite a fighter like Rick or Morty, but he's still in the game. He's still featured in it, so I'll count him as a pop technically from Multiversus. And just like Mr. Meeseeks, BMO right here also isn't a fighter in the game, but they are featured. When you get enough coins as Finn, you can buy BMO and use BMO as an ability. So technically BMO is in the game, and that is another pop that I have in my collection from the game. And the last one that I have in my collection from Multiversus is this Steven Universe Funko Pop right here. This is a pretty cool one that I got many years ago from Hot Topic that I don't really show off too often. I used to have them on display over here, but I started getting too many South Park Pops, so I had to take them off display. Steven is in Multiversus, and so is Garnet, which you can see on the back of the box right here. Unfortunately, I don't have Garnet in my collection. I'll talk more about her later on in the video, but Steven right here is the one pop that I do have in my collection from Steven Universe that is in Multiversus. And with all those out of the way, let's go take a look at the ones that I don't have in my collection. Starting off with Jason Voorhees. I believe this is the most recent fighter they added into Multiversus, and I don't own any Funko Pop for Jason, but there is a bunch of Jason Funko Pops that you can buy. They don't quite look like the one in Multiversus because for some reason in Multiversus they decided to really jack him up and make him look huge. But there is Jason Funko Pops that do exist and they do look pretty cool. Marvin the Martian also does have a Funko Pop. He actually has plenty of different Funko Pops made. This is a really cool character. I love the Funko Pop for this guy, and maybe one day I'll actually get one of these because out of all the Looney Tunes characters, he's definitely up there as one of my favorites. Gizmo and Stripe both have Funko Pops as well. Both of these gremlins have Funko Pops, and the Gizmo one has got to be my favorite. That pop just looks so cool. Black Adam also does have a Funko Pop made. This one's pretty cool. There's a lot of different versions of Black Adam made, actually including one of the ones that he has a skin of in the game, being the Man in Black Black Adam. And this is obviously Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam that he portrayed. LeBron James has also got a Funko Pop. Specifically, the one I'm talking about is the one from Space Jam. There is normal LeBron James Funko Pops, but if we're talking a one-to-one comparison, it's obviously gonna have to be the one from the new Space Jam movie. LeBron also has different skins in the game, a cowboy version and a Robin version. They really went all out with this Space Jam New Legacy Funko Pops. They made a whole wave of these of like 20 plus different Funko Pops, and two of which just happen to be the Cowboy LeBron and the Robin LeBron. Iron Giant also has a Funko Pop. They haven't made a new Iron Giant Funko Pop in a very long time, so if you like this pop, you're probably gonna have to spend a little bit of money on it. Taz and Bugs Bunny both have Funko Pops as well, and actually both of these characters in the game have Toon Squad versions, which also do have Funko Pops as well made of them. And from Scooby-Doo, we've got Velma and we've got Shaggy as Funko Pops as well. I'm surprised Scooby-Doo wasn't featured in this game. If you're gonna release like characters for Multiversus from Scooby-Doo, I would think it would be like Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. Velma's a pretty random choice, but I think it's a great choice nonetheless. There's plenty of different Arya Stark Funko Pops as well, which is pretty obvious considering the fact that she's one of the more popular characters in Game of Thrones, so it just makes sense to make a lot of Funko Pops for her. Finn and Jake from Adventure Time both have Funko Pops as well. I would love to get these one day, but these pops are pretty old. Jake also has a skin in the game of Cake, and Cake also does have a Funko Pop as well. From Steven Universe, like I mentioned earlier on in the video, Garnet does have a Funko Pop as well. I'm surprised they didn't add all 4 of the crystal gems into the game. Like, where's Amethyst? Where's Pearl? I need to see them in the game. But I guess it makes more sense for Steven and Garnet, considering that Garnet is like a more hands-on fighter, especially in the show as well. Harley Quinn also has a Funko Pop as well, and there's actually a lot of different Harley Quinn Funko Pops, one of which is actually one of her skins that she has in the game, which is her Mad Love skin. This is a really awesome one. I think this is so cool. Tom and Jerry both have Funko Pops as well. I'm not sure if they've made any new Tom and Jerry Pops pretty recently, but there is some Tom and Jerry Funko Pops from a few years back. Wonder Woman obviously has a Funko Pop as well. She was a part of the first wave of Funko Pops ever made, actually, I'm pretty sure. And one of her skins in the game, which is the Black Lantern Wonder Woman, also has a Funko Pop. Like I said early on in the video, I'm surprised they haven't made a Black Lantern Superman because that is one of his skins in the game as well. And it's actually a pretty popular character from what I know. And from Matrix, Agent Smith also does have a Funko Pop. I don't know if he's in the game yet. I do know there was like teasers and stuff for him, but Agent Smith does have a Funko Pop as well. And earlier on in the video, when I was talking about Funko Pops from my collection that are in the game that aren't actually fighters, like Mr. Meeseeks and BMO, there's actually one more that has a Funko Pop that I don't have in my collection, which is Mojo Jojo. You know, that horrible map that no one enjoys playing on because it just like gets smaller and smaller and there's bombs everywhere and Mojo Jojo gets in your way whenever you're trying to throw kicks and stuff. It's not fun. That map is not fun at all, but Mojo Jojo is there, and Mojo Jojo does have a Funko Pop. That feels like a tongue twister. I feel like I said that way too fast. Mojo Jojo, Mojo Jojo, Mojo Jojo, Mojo Jojo. But that sums up today's video. Those are all the different characters in Multiversus that do have Funko Pops. Let me know in the comments down below who you play as in Multiversus. For me personally, I mix between Shaggy and Finn. You can make fun of me, I don't care. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.